Hey everybody, Kenny here. Welcome back to Lords of the Fallen playthrough. Last time we made some decent headway into the Barbican. We reached a point where we now have a new map for further exploration into the area. And we've actually completed pretty much all of this that we're actually seeing here. We've done the painting stairway, we've done the mechanical stairway, we've done the crystal underpass thing. So we're at the next part, so let's see where that takes us. Yeah, so we're at a seedling right now. And we're at a seedling that is actually directly across from where our current vestige point is. Just gonna run past everybody here. A regular nugget. And a stinking foul mimic. Alright, so what's up here? Looks like a boss arena. I guess we're going to be starting off this session with a bang. I mean, this isn't the way to the sky beam for this area, though, right? I mean, is it all the way up there? Oh, it is. All the way at the top. How do we get up there? I guess there's going to be some kind of like magical stairway or something that's going to take us up there, because I definitely don't see any kind of like elevator over here. Well, considering everything's been Rogar, let's go and put on our holy buff. Okay. There's the king. The old king corrupted by the Rogar. The Sundered Monarch. What's his thing going to be? He's going to be summoning enemies to attack us? He's definitely not approaching us. Oh, what's up with our health? Why do we have withered health? And why are we missing yeah, we have withered health and we're missing one of our charges. What's that about? We came here straight from... Yeah, we're not in Umbral right now. We came here straight from Skywatch or whatever. He's just gonna break loose and attack us when we get close. And we have to attack him? Is that what? It doesn't seem like he's summoning anybody. I think we have to attack him, but I'm very concerned about why it is that we have withered health and lost one of our charges. And was that just like a bug? Like from when we came into the boss arena? Like, you know, when the cutscene played? Was a bug that happened? Yeah, because when he does that, it's not causing us to gain more withered health. It doesn't seem to be an effect from him. But why is it that... I mean, they're not giving us any other options, so... And if we stand right in front of him... Are you just actually going to deal damage to us when he does the scream? Yeah, it goes right back into what I've been saying like the whole game about this game having a lot of Dark Souls 2 DNA. Anyone who's played Dark Souls 2 knows that, you know, this is straight out of that. It doesn't count as an attack against us. Yeah, because like the boss fight against the Old King in that one, you know, also like he was not aggressive towards the player until the player was aggressive towards him. And he was just a decrepit, you know, like maligned version of the self. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my buff on. Now before we attack, I'm going to go and try to use this. Okay, so that does nothing. Oh, look at that. Does he have an arm on the other side? No. But he has an arm when we do this. Interesting. What's that about? Oh, we actually got our stuff back in that. Oh, and we can't do that anymore from him. So he sucked away... Huh. Interesting. Okay. We're going to attack you now. Oh, and he just stays doing that. Okay. Okay, so now he has the arm. can use a statue as a weapon? No, just the chains on... No? I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, so he's going to use the head of the statue as a weapon. There's going to be a bludgeon from that hand, and then like fire from the other hand. Oh, statue head looks bigger from here. Oops. Ooh, okay. I'm not sure what the... I think the underarm spikes are just there to warn the player. Yeah, I like this fight. Like, this is the kind of fight that the devs should have been working on, not that garbage they did with Andreas Aveb and Harkin. Hmm. That was cool. Oh. Oh. Yep, in fire phase, swords come down with the big smash. Forgot about the swords. And that's a good fight. Yep. Nobody here to join me. Oh no, there is. I have Pieta, because only Pieta's left. Everybody else is dead.
We fight as weapons of the divine, Flambearer.
I gotta remember that they follow his path also. Yeah, dodged way too early on that one. Yeah, but let's see if we can get some poison off on him.
By radiant light and holy blood, you will.
That's new. That's very new. Oh. Interesting. Did I do it? I think that was just Pieta. Okay, I think I did it. Nope. Oh, is he healing? What is happening right now? Wretched Seed, Umbral Scarring, the king is dead. Defeated the Sundered Monarch. Great fight. That was a great fight. Remembrance of the Sundered Monarch. Oh, is that a vestige right there? Yeah, of course it's a vestige right there. Or maybe not. Yeah, it's not a vestige. Oh, there's a resurrection spot. Yeah. Before we go up there, I just want to see what the remembrance stuff is. Nothing to say.
Chosen bearer of the lamp,
Nothing new at Molu.
until her embrace.
Sundered Monarch. The remembrance of the Sundered Monarch. A melted sword hilt. Very few of the subjects saw beneath the stern visage and commanding presence of King Brahmis the 17th, and fewer still would have guessed how much strength the formidable king drew from the love in his queen's smile and the innocence in his infant son's eyes. Queen's Head Hammer. Fires 26 strength, 26 inferno, does physical and fire. A crude hammer topped with the head of a statue of Queen Sophicia of Mornstead. Heavy Memento. Fires 40 strength, it's a heavy shield, it weighs 50. Part of a broken stone statue, fashioned into a crude but formidable shield. King Brahmis the 17th inherited the throne of an already troubled kingdom, but nonetheless did his best to do right by his homeland, his people, and the ones he loved, his efforts eventually cut short by the cruel sickness of the mind. Melted Crown. A crown once fit for a king, now melted and disfigured. An okay headpiece. Infernal Decree. Summon a rain of infernal swords from the sky. Costs 39 mana, fires 35 Inferno, and is an Inferno Catalyst. Okay. With all the stuff we have, how much can we upgrade our stick? Let's see, we have 4 large. So we'd be able to do like 1 upgrade and then we'd be hurting for charge again. So let's just level up then. We can do 3 levels, so 38 vitality. 3 levels from our goal. Okay. Warp back to our seedling. Oh, there's another thing here.
Justin, I'm sorry. This was all my fault. I just wanted things to be better for us. Forgive me. No, get that away from...
Hero worship. Justin's faith in his brother remains steadfast. Okay. A deer, the bereft exile.
Pity my lost child. For you have been deceived and enslaved by forces who regard you as nothing more than an instrument through which they might enact their blasphemous will and prevent my rightful return. They speak of light while offering you nothing but blindness. Weak hypocrites relying on the malignant power of Umbral. With one breath, then decrying it with another. They brand me evil, a tyrant, and yet I offer you something they will not. A choice. Reject the fanatical crusaders and the deranged servants of the self-proclaimed judge. Dismiss all of their false dogma and the torturous mission to which they have bound you. And only then will you know freedom. And if you would hear it, the truth.
I mean, they don't seem to be giving us other choices. I mean, in case this leads into a boss fight, I definitely don't want to be in the Umbral. Enter the Rogar realm or do nothing. Okay. So maybe that's the thing that we need to do to move stuff forward, but just in case. Just in case. Let's head down to the depths again. Yeah, dude still isn't here. We can't talk to this guy anymore. And no changes here. So all we can do is head to the Rogar realm. Okay, so the Rogar realm is a nightmare hellscape like everywhere else. Good to know. Now we can't just leave. Does our lantern do anything here? Oh. Okay. So we're in a boss fight right now. So the choice he gave us is to fight.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth? For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter.
You guys trying to attack me now?
And their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this barren realm, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about ruling themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name.
And I'm pretty sure only the ones that have the rune on them.
And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than ever.
Yeah, so every good thing I said about the previous fight, the opposite is true here.
Of other beings to claim godhood. Where are they? What of Aureus and the abhorrent umbral creature? They are cowards, hiding in false light and obfuscating shadow, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true words and open arms. For I love all of my children, even the wayward ones.
Yeah. Like the absolute worst type of
Listen,
boss battle imaginable.
you must stop this before you allow yourself to condemn all of mankind for eternity. I am not your enemy, only what my own enemies fear. The loss of the dominion they have established for themselves in my absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now.
You're the one attacking me, you son of a bitch. I mean, like, having a boss monologue to you and having to...
Are in the presence of a god human. Your god. I formed you from nothing and can just as easily destroy you. Yet you would dare defy my will. The world in which you exist is my world, my home. And yet mankind, my own creation, exiled me from it. You have no idea what it is to suffer such a monstrous betrayal, or to endure the ages of torment which follow.
I mean, like, really, like, he has all of this dialogue that you have to listen to while you're trying to avoid getting attacked in a place where everyone's trying to attack you. That is the worst type of boss design possible. Like, do not merge like story.
Before me and beg for forgiveness. not just for your own hubris and treachery, but those of your entire deplorable kind. You are in the presence of a god-human. Your god.
Yeah, that is awful design.
Your entire of your deplorable kind.
Like forcing a narrative lore dump inside of a boss fight. Like where like your options are pay attention or fight. You know, that's such garbage. That is such garbage. They're saying, oh, I'm giving you a choice. And then as soon as we step into the arena, you start setting them up to attack us. Like, we didn't attack anybody. I was using my lantern to look around, but I didn't attack anybody. I didn't even pop that first leech until the boss bar already came up and those guys started getting aggressive. You know, I wasn't the one who chose it. But they still had the boss preach at us. When we, you know, like when there was no choice being given to the player. That was so stupid. Yeah, only the ones that have the rune cause them to pop. We gotta wait for the rune popper, the rune guys to start popping up. But while we do that, let's look for the ones that have the things. Okay, here one.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth? For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter.
Anybody running up?
The judges and
Okay,
the crazed
got a rune boy.
butchered those who remained loyal to me.
Oops,
And when I created
not
them
what I wanted to do.
as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the heathen forces.
Where'd the rune boy go?
Even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this barren land, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about ruling themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. shape their own destiny. See what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than ever. And what of other beings who claimed godhood? Where are they? What of Aureus and the abhorrent Umbral creature? They are cowards, hiding in Forcelight and obfuscating shadow, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true words and open arms. For I love all of my children, even the wayward ones. Listen to me. You must stop this before you allow yourself to condemn all of mankind for eternity. I am not your enemy, only what my own enemies fear. The loss of the dominion they have established for themselves in my absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now. You are in the presence of a god-human. Your god. I formed you from nothing and can just as easily destroy you. Yet you will dare defy my will. The world in which you exist is my world, my home, with mankind. My own creation exiled me from it. You have no idea what it is to suffer such a monstrous betrayal, or to endure the ages of torment which follow.
Where are the ones that I missed? There's somebody that I missed. Oh, there you are. Ah. I was too late. Now he's gonna start doing the thing.
Before me and beg for forgiveness. Not just for your own hubris and treachery, but those of your entire deplorable kind. You are in the presence of a god-human.
This fight sucks so much.
But those of your entire deplorable kind.
Such an indulgent trash fight. Oops. The hell? There we go. That's what I wanted.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth. For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter.
There we go.
The judges and their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the evil forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this barren realm, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about ruling themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods. Figures of worship, their real ambition, all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than ever. And what of others?
I don't understand what was going on here.
Good. Where are they? What of the resistance?
Like, I have no idea how many times I hit the heal button, but nothing would happen. I just kept on pressing it, and nothing was happening, so I would attack something to see if like it required me to do something. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, like, even though it burns up our mana to use it, let's use the invigorating aura. That way I just have a kind of passive heal going.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth? For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter. The judges and their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this battleground, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about themselves, free from the divine oppression of which...
Yeah, it was some bullshit.
And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph.
There you are.
How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than ever. And what of other beings who claim godhood? Where are they? What of Aureus and the abhorrent, humble creature? They are cowards, hiding in forcelight and obfuscating shadow, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true words and open arms. For I love all of my children, even wayward ones. Listen to me.
What the hell?
Must stop this before you allow yourself to
What the hell is going on?
of mankind for eternity. I am not your enemy.
What the hell was that?
What my own enemies fear. The loss of the dominion
Why did I keep getting like ricocheted off that guy?
of you in my absence. To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth. For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. in return, I was betrayed. Those 3 power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter. The judges and their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the heathen forces.
Where are the Rune Boys at?
Even I fell,
There you are.
although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world left blackened, those triggered by their crusade, the judges banished me to this barren realm, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about ruling themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me now more than ever.
That's not gonna do it.
And what of other beings who claim godhood? Where are they? What of Oculus and the abhorrent umbral creature
I hate this more than anything.
hiding in Forsum
This is such garbage.
shadow? Deeming
It's such
you of their
absolute boring, trash, tedious bullshit.
with true one
Developers should be ashamed for put this shit at the end of their game.
all of
Absolutely shameful.
even the wayward ones.
I get it. Game dev is hard. But this shit is intentional. You can't do this by accident.
You must stop this before you allow yourself to condemn all of mankind for eternity. I am not your enemy, only what my own enemies fear. The loss of the dominion,
The developers thought this was a good idea.
absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now, the insistent hubris of humanity.
And I don't want to hear anybody in the comments going and trying to defend the developers by trying to explain the mechanics of how this works. I understand how this works. I'm explaining that it's garbage. This is a garbage fight. I understand. He fires out the rune. It infects. The ones that get infected, when you kill them, the runes go out and they infect others. I get it. I understand how this works. I don't care how it works. It's bad. This is a bad fight. This is terrible game design.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful deceitful distortions of the truth. For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter. The judges and their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness, they too were no match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts. In a world blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this barren ground, which has served as my prison ever since. Meanwhile, mankind set about moving themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than ever. And what of other beings who claim godhood? Where are they? What of Aureus and the abhorrent umbral creature? They are cowards, hiding in foresight and obfuscating shadow, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true words and open arms. For I love all of my children, even the wayward ones. Listen to me. You must stop this before you allow yourself to condemn all of mankind for eternity.
What the hell is happening?
Not your enemy, only what my own enemies feel. The loss of the dominion they have established for themselves in my absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now. You are in the presence of a god-human. Your god. I formed you from nothing and can just as easily destroy you. Yet you would dare defy my will.
Oh, right there.
The world in which you exist is my world, my home, and yet mankind, my own creation. I look upon you with pity, my lost child. For you have been deceived and enslaved by forces who regard you as nothing more than an instrument through which they might enact their blasphemous will and prevent my rightful return.
Are we just supposed to run up to him? So we use the lantern to purify a god? Okay. Why not? Fallen, defeated a deer, the bereft exile. The light of the umbral lamp knows no station, consuming even a god. Glorious will done by his heresy-tainted champion, rewarded only with annihilation. With renewed influence, Aureus unleashes his radiance to purify those deemed transgressors. In light, they fall. Night we walk, reach their radiant ending. Sure. Yeah, so we got one of the endings, and that's the only ending we're gonna get because I refuse to play through this game again to see the other endings with what they pulled with that fight. That is a game ruiner for me. Like the devs going and just crapping all over their entire game, and the final, it's the final encounter. Why would you do that with the final encounter? Especially when like you had such a strong fight with the, with the old king. Like the way that you did that fight, that was a really cool fight. And then you screw it up by doing this. Yeah, so there's a bunch of guys and we're gonna have the boss monologuing the whole time, and while he's monologuing, he's gonna be infecting them with his rune, and then you gotta find the ones with the rune, and by hurting them, you hurt the boss. Okay. Why was it considered a choice? Why was, like, the boss told us we have a choice. What was the choice? What choice was he giving us? We walked in there, we walk into the arena, and then the boss bar pops up, and the whole thing starts. And there's no choice by the player. Why did you call it a choice? Like literally the whole thing, while he was talking to the player, was setting up, this is a choice that I'm giving you. A choice for what? What choice are we being offered? Oh, I want you to enter my realm. Why do you want me to enter your realm? Well, apparently, we're entering your realm so we can get the radiant ending to the game. Why? Why? Just why? Like, I get it, in FromSoft's games, they don't really explain what's happening. Most people finish the game without really understanding what was going on. But in this case, you were actually handing out a story to the player. So why are you going to go and do this kind of ending when you've actually been giving the players a story the whole time? Like what FromSoft does and what you did are very different. This is not what FromSoft does with their stories. FromSoft puts all of their story in the lore. The lore is where the story is. And by collecting more of the stuff, you understand more about what was going on, and that gives you context as to what the things were that you did. That's how FromSoft's games work. But you were actually you were giving us NPCs who were giving us the story, and you have these things that we interact with that give us more background and story the entire game. But then you have a literal lore dump boss ending, and instead of making it that the lore dump boss ending is explanatory as to why this is the ending you're going for, like you just have it be that he's explaining, oh yeah, so I'm the real god, and the other gods, they're bad gods. They don't really like their followers, they do really bad stuff. And I mean, people say that I'm bad, but I mean, the stuff that they've done in my name is nowhere near as bad as stuff to other. Yeah, it's bad stuff. We get it. We understand. Grim Dark World. You know, it's the reason we got the game. You know, like we saw that, like, you know, this is terrible stuff all around. Let's go. Let's see what happens, what you guys do with it. Instead of doing something interesting with it, you just, all right, so we're gonna set it up that even if you do their quest stuff, the bosses, you know, all of your NPCs are still gonna die, and there's no real satisfying conclusion to anything, and like you've been collecting all this lore and seeing all this stuff for no real reason. We just thought it was part of the paradigm of how games like this work. You know, it's just we were being cheeky. That's how it feels. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to why we had a Radiant ending that was like a deer telling us, all right, so I am going to give you a choice to get the Radiant ending, and explain that my choice is giving you the option to do the Radiant ending when there's no other option. We didn't have another option. We went the Umbra route. We could, you know, there wasn't anything there for us to, you know, go and get the Umbra ending, however that works. Like, I'm sure that the deer route is like, you know, like you give the, like, you know, that catalyst to the girl in, you know, at Skyrest Bridge and the other area, other part of Skyrest Bridge. Like, I'm sure it probably like involves that character and then Dama Rose in some way. I mean, like, this is, and, you know, and it's not like I usually care about endings. Like, endings in games are whatever. Like, you know, like, take them or leave them. You know, they don't ruin the experience of having a bad ending. What does ruin an experience in a video game is having a bad playable segment as the ending to your video game. I don't think that's an inflammatory thing to say. I don't think it's mean to call out that you guys put a very bad bit of gameplay as the finale to your game. I mean, I would have much preferred if, like, you know, like you just did you've been cribbing on Dark Souls 2 for a lot of the game. You know, there was literally a little throne right there at the bottom of the stairs or at the top of the stairs, after we beat the best boss. Why not just end it there? Just end it there. Why not? Why have this thing as, you know, like, oh yeah, go beyond the throne. Now they've gone beyond the throne, you get to feel bad about having spent time playing our game. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Because honestly, like, you know, like, I actually really enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed all of this game up until you screwed it up so bad at the end. Why did you have to screw it up so bad at the end? Why did you have to have such a bad ending for Harken? Why did the protagonist of the first game, you have to pull that crap? Why does no one believe in, like, giving any, like, you know, like honoring the titles that came prior? Like, what is this thing that, like, everybody has to go, you know, like, you had to do the, you know, Star Wars New Hope garbage? Well, not New Hope. Is that what it was called? Force Awakens. That's what it was called. Why does everybody got to go the Force Awakens, you know, like, route and go and mess up everybody's stories? You know, if people had an interesting story, go with the interesting story. But you just go, yeah, so you know how Harken at the end of in the beginning of the first game, like, he was locked up forever. Like, he was never gonna go free. You remember that, right? He was a criminal. Well, all the stuff that happened after that, you know, you did all the stuff leading up to the end there. We're just gonna say that stuff didn't matter, and the only thing that mattered was that, you know, like, the rune system and the fact that Harkin was a criminal. Those are the only things that actually matter. Why? Why is that? Come on, guys. I mean, like, I get it. Like, the first game isn't the most widely acclaimed, but it's the inspiration for you making this game. It is the source material for this game. You're using the Hand Mountain. What the hell? What is this? Why are you disrespecting the past for no reason? Because right there, I was very upset by the fact that you disrespected Harkin like that. But then to do this on top of that, I mean, I don't even know, guys. That was so bad. That was so bad. Once again, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the actual mechanics of the game. Although, your ability to design targeting is trash. You need to step that up quite a bit. But the game itself was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the experience. I went. I mean, what is this? At this point, we're 45 sessions, 46. I'm not sure at this point. We're 45, 46 sessions into this. I put an okay amount. I mean, like 70, like 60 to 70 hours into your game, and I enjoyed it. I really liked it. You did the right callbacks to Soul Reaver that needed to be there. You paid homage where it needed to be paid, and then you went and you crapped on your own stuff. I mean, it's so weird. Why does everybody do this? Why? What is this? Why can things from the past not be held in some kind of regard? I don't know. Maybe there is a way to do Harkin's thing where that isn't how it ends. Where he gets a better ending. Where you find some other stuff that helps to improve the path of getting him a better finale there. But I mean, even if that's the case, whether or not that's the case, what was this fight on the bridge? What was that? Why is that the way that Harkin goes out? This little tiny box room that you have to fight Harkin in that does nothing for the character. I mean, you're fighting Harkin. You understand the level of power that we were at the end of the first game? He doesn't use any of that shit. What the hell? It should have been an infamous one, a fight against Kester. It should have been that type of fight. Why is it just this throwaway garbage little fight on the bridge? I mean, what the hell? Yeah, so that's my rant done. Unlock the new class, Radiant Purifier. Martial priest of the Church of Orient Radiance, whose rigorous training in matters both spiritual and somatic serves them in unflinchingly cleansing anything deemed anathema to the Church and Aureus. An offense-focused class vulnerable to physical harm, but with greater tolerance for magical damage. You can begin new game +1 for a higher difficulty challenge. No, thank you. I do not want that at all. I watched. I'm a fan of the content creator of Oricon, and he has a regular podcast that he does called Khan's Cast, and I believe that he did a kind of a post-mortem episode for Lords of the Fallen with Fighting Cowboy, I believe. And so I'm aware of what happens when you do the new game plus in this game, and I would never do that. I do not disrespect my time that much. If you're curious, when you do new game plus in this game, there are no vestiges. All the vestiges are gone. There's only the vestige seeds. You can only put down a vestige seed, so there's no fast travel in the game. So you have to play through the whole game without fast travel. I mean, you can probably fast travel back to Skyrest Bridge, but I think other than that, there's no fast travel in the game, which is insane. That is an insane choice to make. You can restart game +0 or do new game +1. And I won't be doing either. Yep, so this is going to be the end of our journey. Sorry, like, the end here was such a big downer, but again, there was no way that I could have, because I was on a big high with the way that, the fight against the king was. Because that was an awesome fight. I loved that fight. That was so cool. That was like, that is an ending. That's where the game should have ended. I would have had nothing but praise for this game other than the whole targeting thing. And the thing about Harkin. If that's where they ended the game. But I can't stand for that crap. That's such bad game design. Now we can get to level 100. Seasoned. Reach level 100. Cool. Yep, so that's it for the playthrough. Thanks everybody for stopping by and checking me out. Hope that, the parts of the playthrough that were less me ranting were enjoyable to, swing by every now and then and check out. I appreciate all the support of anyone who was watching these, because honestly, this series has done way better than I expected it to. Yeah, I'm very much a nobody, so to get regular views on a playthrough video that's not Path of Exile is very heartening. It's makes me feel very good. Honestly, this is the coolest armor set I have ever put together in any Souls-like game. If one thing can be said about the devs, they have a very good art team. This is such a cool armor set that I put together. But yeah, that is it for this. Thanks everybody. I really appreciate all of you stopping by. If my next playthrough catches your fancy, hope to see you there. I don't really expect it to, just because the next playthrough I'm going to do, and it's going to be a whole different world from what I did here. The next game I'm going to be covering is actually Visions of Mana from Square Enix. And the reason is that I am a huge Mana fan. Seiken Densetsu series, I love those games. Some of my favorite games of all time, and Trials of Mana was the best remake in the history of video game remakes. Period. So, after that, I am very much looking forward to Visions of Mana. So, I'm going to be planning to do a big playthrough of that when it's out, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the game isn't going to be out by the time that this is up. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Till next time, Invictus, Rise of Damaris, and bye.